Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Monday, 10th day of November. It is today about Shema. When Shema is recited every single day, the halacha is quite stringent that all of the words of Shema must be said very, very clearly. You might see people slow down and read Shema the most carefully out of anything that they're reading throughout the entire davening. It is the one part of davening that is a biblical command to us that God says, say these words every single day. So when you say Shema, you should clearly enunciate every single one of these words. I'm going to give you some examples. For example, when you say the two words Vavadtem Meheira, the first word ends with a mem, and the next word starts with a mem. And if you slur them together, you will end up saying one mem instead of two. Watch me. If you say Vavadtem Meheira, that was just one mem. Vavadtem, whoops, watch. Together they sound like this. Vavadtem Meheira. That's one mem, and that's improper. The right way is Vavadtem Meheira. And that's what you have to do at words like that. If there's a mem at the end of the word and then a mem at the beginning of the next word, they must be said clearly and separately so that the two mems are really there. But while I'm on that, I should just point out to you that other things could go wrong right there on those two words. Like, for example, some people, I don't know if you noticed, but I was trying to very carefully say that daled without any extra vowelization to it, if that's a word, because you're not supposed to say vavadetem, it's vavadtem. That daled is kind of not a pronounced daled. We won't go into the grammar of that, but it's just supposed to be vavadtem meheira, and not vocalizing that daled. That's another example of a thing that could go wrong and not be said so perfectly when saying Shema. Another one that people do when trying to clearly separate those two mems is they say Vavadtem Meheira. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but that first mem, they added a vowel to it. It says Vavadtem, and they said Vavadtem. And it doesn't say Vavadtem, it says Vavadtem. So be careful about things like that too. This shows up all over Shema. There are many words that are attached by a something like a mem at the end of the first word and a mem at the beginning of the next. Another famous one is Bechal Levavcha. That was two lameds slurred into one. Bechal Levavcha. That's not what it says. It says Bechal Levavcha. Incidentally, that too is kind of complicated because Bechal Levavcha are grammatically considered hyphenated together, and they're supposed to be said quite quickly next to each other. So yes, it has to be two separate lameds, but there's not supposed to be a long pause between those two words. And then, of course, there's the world famous one, the Leman Tizkiru. You might hear the guy next to you doing that sometimes. You might think he's just trying to annoy you. Of course he's not. He's a good person. The reason he's saying it like that is because if you say Leman Tizkiru too quickly and harshly, then you end up having that Zion sound like an S. And you'll end up saying Leman Tizkiru in order that you be rewarded. And that's not what we're saying. We're saying Leman Tizkiru in order that you be remembered. Leman Tizkiru in order that you should remember. So please note those kinds of things when saying Shema, because if you do them improperly, you're not fully, perfectly getting Shema done. Now, there is leniency here and there about certain things that will qualify, even if you didn't say them so perfectly, but you want to try and do it the most cleanly, the most way that you're most certain that you got it done, and therefore try to say all of Shema very carefully. Incidentally, in any good sitter, you will see lines all over the place separating words, and look carefully, and you're going to see that those lines were placed there in order to get rid of, getting rid of problems like this, of slurs in two words being attached to each other. Watch more carefully, and maybe even, this might sound crazy to you, but it's not, say your Shema to someone who knows grammar very well, who knows how to read very well, and check with him and say, this is how I say Shema each day. It would take the two of you 5 minutes, or maybe even a drop more, and he might say, oh my gosh, you've been saying Vavadtem wrong all of these years. And it's not a bad idea to just check with someone that you're pronouncing all these words correctly. It's that important. It's a biblical command. So check into that and make sure that you're saying your Shema succinctly, carefully, well enunciated, etc. each and every single day. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.